Halloween with Home Assistant. Oh, she acts like we're gonna go for a walk. We're not going for a walk, we're just gonna go for a tour. Wait, what the? What was that? Jesus criminy. Pretty much everything here is just ran by a simple smart outlet by Emporia. You can use anything with that. We're not going anywhere, you know that, right? We're just doing a tour, just calm down. Just gonna jump in there like we're going for a ride. Okay, we're going for a ride. Yeah. Meet Betty. She ran over Bob. Let's be honest, Bob probably deserved it. These are standard dumb LEDs, nothing too fancy. You power them on, they're on, you power them off, they're off. But something I did do was all of the lights outside. Since all of my porch lights are Philips Hue Zigbee bulbs, which this is a smart bulb, but it's by Miros. I really needed my outdoor bulbs to be Zigbee, so, you know, those are outside. But since they are RGB, I'm able to use my Philips Hue motion sensor that sets off a series of events that changes it from red to orange and then back to a nice, soothing, candlelit amber colored. To make sure that this thing didn't repeat all the time, I created a helper, which is a timer that counts down from 45 seconds. Essentially, whenever that thing is running, it will not restart the color loop. So it allows it to go through the loop and then have like a little settling thing in between the time when it went off the first and the reoccurring events. Now I made it like this because one, I wanted to make the program of the lights changing and I wanted to create a pattern and not have it interrupted. Two, I didn't want it to step on itself every time it got reset. I wanted to make sure that all the lights went back to like an idling phase and it just didn't mess everything up and make it look weird. Initially, I was making it to where if the driveway sensed occupants, because I have a Hue motion sensor, if it sensed the occupants for longer than 1 minute, then my lights would turn just regular, normal, bright white. But I found that, you know, sometimes you get false triggers with the motion and it would just be coming on a lot. So I just went with just a single activation. When it switches over to occupied or detected, then it would run the sequence. When it comes to actually the Halloween day, I'm not really sure how I want to do that. I think I want to wire in like a strobe light or something. I'm thinking like a speaker that goes, "Rah!" The problem is that motion is finicky. I have Hue, I have AOTech, and I have some off-brand, and they all are just kind of hit or miss. The Hues are so far the best, but there's no guarantee. Now, it probably won't be a big deal in the long run. I mean, it's just one night and who cares if it's going off randomly. But in terms of my driveway going off the entire month of October, I had to cut it down and make it have a limitation. Thoughts did cross my mind of making the lights that are in the truck all independent and controlled separately. Since I'm already running power out there, I already have a Miros power strip that would actually turn off each individual port, so I could do that if I wanted to. But when I was running all that through my head, I was like, you know, what do? Do you just blink the lights? Does that mean it's blinking all night? Because those aren't smart LEDs. They don't dim, they don't do anything. It's just a switch with a very dumb LED. And I made all this with pre-existing hardware. I didn't go out and buy anything. I've had all of this stuff as just like, you know, now this year I'm using Home Assistant. Rather than putting up like those candle lights or torch lights that, you know, look like fire, I was like, hey, let's do motion activation. That sounds fun. And I like that because I set up my front bushes and I set up my front tree to all do the same thing. So they can all turn and change whenever it gets activated, and it just kind of looks coordinated and, in my opinion, kind of cool. I know around here somewhere I have a strobe light that I can put on its own circuit, and then come Halloween night, I can make that on a slow strobe. I don't want to give anyone like seizures when they come up to my house, but I can set that up and it just be like flash. I really kind of want to do a scream, but I don't have a small enough speaker that's loud or a loud enough speaker that's small. Actually, come to think about it, I do have a loud speaker in my garage that I can just set up out back behind the house. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be in their face. It can just be a really loud scream, but like behind the house, and just go. But the reason why I like this idea is because I have these smart bulbs, I have the landscape lighting, I got all this other stuff that literally is just one program, one script, one automation away from being a different holiday. So come Christmas, however I want to set up my lights, whether they change between red and green and I don't know, whatever I do with them, come Christmas, it's just a matter of putting in the automation, setting it as active, and that's it. It's like, I'm already using these lights, they're already installed, and they're just my normal lights. So I like that. Ooh, actually, that's a good idea. So I have a loudspeaker that I can put in my garage, and then I can crack the garage door, and then I can just have it play sounds. And if I have the fog machine somewhere, I can put it in the garage, and it will creep fog out of the garage underneath the crack. That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna have to look for my fog machine. Well, anyways, guys, this is just like one of those automations that you create because, you know, whenever your trigger goes off, let's say a motion detection or something like that, it just turns a light on to a certain color for a certain amount of time. And then it does it again. and then it does it again until finally it goes back to its resting. So it's all dependent on what hardware you have. So it's not, I don't know, it's kind of hard to like make a script for that that's like public. Like you'd have to do twice the work to copy what I did because you'd have to change everything anyway. So either way, I think it's kind of a neat idea to use the home assistants that I already have with lights that I already have that are already doing what they're supposed to do as lights, but just transforming it into something that could possibly be maybe pretty cool for Halloween. Well, anyways, I just kind of wanted to show off what I'm doing for Halloween, showcase, you know, the way I'm controlling the lights and how everything looks, motion activated. I thought it was kind of a neat idea, a way to recycle stuff that you already have in order to, you know, amp up your Halloween decorations just a little bit at very minimal cost if you already have everything going on your house. I'd love to hear your guys' ideas though, so post those in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and have yourself a great Halloween.